On Monday the 19th of October, we had the opportunity to participate in recording and editing with professionals from Key 103. When we visited Key 103, the 7 of us made a radio advertisement and a 22-minute long radio programme. During the day, we took lots of photographs to use as evidence of participating in the activities and to show on our blogs and podcasts. When we first arrived, we were shown around the building looking at the different studios, and a member of staff from Key 103 talked us through what we would be doing on the day. After this, we got straight into our first activity, which was the radio advertisement. We were told that our advert had to be 40 seconds long, and the topic was binge drinking in teenagers. We sat in our group and discussed how we were going to produce our advert. We thought about our target audience and how we were going to catch their attention. When we had all our ideas put together, we wrote our script. We then took our script to a recording studio, where we would record and edit our advert. We were working with a professional sound editor who works for Key 103. He helped us make our advert sound very professional. Each person recorded their lines 3 times.
To find out more about excessive drinking in young people, go to talktofrank.com. To find out more about excessive drinking in young people, go to talktofrank.com. To find out more about excessive drinking.
This was so when we were putting the separate voice recordings together, we could choose from one of the 3 recordings which sounded better. We were shown how radio adverts are edited and put together professionally. When our voice recordings were being edited, if there was a word or sentence which didn't sound good, we could replace it by cutting it out of another recording and placing it in the one we were using. Once we had finished the voice recordings, we had to put sound effects in. One thing we learnt whilst doing this activity is that there is never any silence on a radio advert. There is always some noise in the background. It was described as something you wouldn't notice until it stops. For example, the sound of a running computer. This activity was interesting and very enjoyable. Our completed advert lasted approximately 37 seconds, and we were all proud of the work we had done.
Did you remember Dave at that party last week? He didn't even notice when his eyebrows got shaved.
Oh no, he was so drunk, he didn't even realise that we were drawing makeup on him.
Yeah, I know, he was so drunk he didn't even hear us when we were calling his name.
He was so drunk, he didn't even move when we shook him.
He was so drunk he didn't even wake up when the ambulance come.
He was so drunk, he never woke up again.
To find out more about excessive drinking in young people, go to talktofrank.com.
Remember, anything can happen.
After our dinner, we had to do the second activity. This was making a radio programme. The programme could be on any subjects we chose, either something from the news or make something up. The group was split into pairs, but as there was 7 of us, 1 person was left, which was me. This meant that I was going to be the presenter of the radio show, and the other students would be guests on the show. Everybody had 30 minutes to think of their ideas for the show and decide what they were going to talk about. Whilst the others were doing this, I was taken into the studio where I was shown what I was going to do. I was shown how radio presenters have to talk to time, which is a lot more difficult than it sounds. The jingle would play and I would have to introduce myself. However, I had to say this before the next jingle played, but I could not finish talking too soon before the jingle came on.
Key 103. Key 103.
Hello and good afternoon everyone, I'm Dannielle on Key 103. We've got some good stuff coming up for you today and we want all your opinions as well, so if you text in 63103 and start your message with the word key.
Key 103.
Today we've got Eddie and James with their Comedy Central News Roundup, Luke and Sophie with their topic of stereotyping, and Mezzanat with their TV guide, all coming up on Key 103. But first, Alexandra Burke with Bad Boys.
Key 103.
I found this very difficult, but with a bit of practice I got better. Whilst talking to time, I had to introduce myself and tell the listeners what was coming up on the show. Also, I had to introduce the songs which we were about to play and introduce the guests coming on the show.
So that was Alexandra Burke with Bad Boys. Now over to Eddie and James with their Comedy Central News Roundup. And that was Cheryl Cole with Fight for This Love. Now we've got Luke and Sophie with their topic of stereotyping. Over to you. Well, that was Black Eyed Peas with I Got a Feeling. And now we have Mezzanat with their TV guide.
In the end, our radio programme lasted 22 minutes, and in my opinion, I think we did a great job.
And that was Pixie Lot with Boys and Girls. That's all we've got for today, and I'd like to say thank you to Eddie and James for their Comedy Central News Roundup, Luke and Sophia for their speech on stereotyping, and Anton Mez's TV guide. I'd like to shout out to Ian Goodyear and everyone at Salford College. Thank you for listening, and that's everything for now. Goodbye.
This is Days at Key. Manchester's original music station. Key 103.
At the end of the day, all our work was put into memory sticks for us to take back to college and use for our Level 3 award in sound editing work. I don't think that anything really needs to be improved with the activities at the day at Key 103. Students are shown what it's like to work in the radio industry, how they make radio adverts and edit them, and what it's like to be on the radio. I thought our day at Key 103 was a brilliant experience. We learnt a lot of new things that would help us with our work, and we all enjoyed the day.